At 23:40 hours on December 29, 1944, Major Carroll C. Smith sat hunched inside the cramped cockpit of his P-61 Black Widow at McGuire Field, Mindoro. His radar operator watched a moving blip sliding across a glowing green scope. The contact traveled at 180 knots through black, starless sky north of the Philippine Islands. Smith was 26 years old. He had flown 43 combat missions. He had scored 4 confirmed kills. That night, 12 Japanese bombers lifted off with one mission: destroy the American airfields. For 2 straight weeks, Japanese aircraft had returned every single night. Bombs, kamikaze aircraft, anything capable of carrying explosives. There had been 334 air raid alerts in 14 days. American engineers below worked non-stop. They were building 2 airfields for the coming Lingayen Gulf invasion. The Japanese knew exactly what those airfields meant. If American fighters could launch from Mindoro, they could protect the entire invasion fleet. Thousands of American ships, tens of thousands of American troops. So the Japanese sent bombers every night. The 418th Night Fighter Squadron arrived at Mindoro 3 days earlier. Smith's aircraft was the only thing standing between those bombers and 20,000 American soldiers sleeping in tents below. Every bomber that slipped through meant more bodies, more delays, more dead Americans. Smith's aircraft was different. The Northrop P-61 Black Widow was the first American aircraft built only for night combat. It had a 66-foot wingspan, twin Pratt & Whitney R2800 engines producing 2,000 horsepower each, a top speed of 366 miles per hour. But its real weapon was not the guns. It was the SCR-720 radar hidden inside the aircraft's nose. That radar could detect aircraft 5 miles away in total darkness. The Japanese did not know this. They believed night made them invisible. They were wrong. Behind Smith sat his radar operator, Lieutenant Philip Porter. He watched 2 glowing screens. One screen showed left and right movement. The other showed up and down. He could see everything. One problem remained. 1 aircraft, 12 enemy bombers. Fuel, 3 hours. Interception time per bomber, 10 minutes. The math was brutal. Smith had trained for 18 months for nights like this. Radar interception, blind flying, total darkness gunnery. Now it was real. At 23:42, Porter's voice crackled through the headset. 4 contacts, 4 bombers, different altitudes, same heading. Smith had seconds to decide which one to hunt first, and whether his plan was brilliance or suicide. He pushed both throttles forward. The twin engines roared. The Black Widow climbed into the darkness. Porter called out vectors. Heading 035 degree, altitude 8,000 ft, range 4 miles. Smith saw nothing. No moon, no stars. Heavy clouds swallowed the night. This was exactly why the Japanese chose tonight. Complete darkness, invisible bombers, safe. So they thought. But the Black Widow was no ordinary fighter. Its SCR-720 radar spun silently inside the nose, sending out microwave pulses. When the pulses hit an aircraft, they returned as glowing blips on Porter's scope. Porter watched every display, left, right, up, down. He guided Smith with precision. Range, 3 miles. Smith activated his own radar scope. The pilot's display was simpler, but enough. Target, Mitsubishi G4M. Betty bomber, maximum speed, 270 metros. Crew, 7 men. Bomb load, 1,760 pounds. Weakness, no self-sealing fuel tanks. Smith closed in. Range, 1,000 yards. Still no visual, only the radar blip. 800 yards, 700, 600. Finally, 500 yards, he saw the dark shape against slightly lighter clouds. Exhaust flames flickered orange. He moved the Black Widow below and behind. 4 20mm Hispano M2 cannons aimed forward. Smith aligned the N6 gun sight reticle. 400 yards. Armed the cannons. Firing. 350 yards. 4 cannons roared. Shells ripped toward the Betty at 2,800 ft. Tracers streaked red through the black. 2 seconds. 48 rounds. The bomber's right wing exploded. Fuel ignited instantly. The Betty rolled. Dove. Impact. 8 miles north of Mindoro at 23:57. 1 bomber down. 11 remained. Fuel. 15% consumed. 3 more blips on the radar. All heading to Mindoro. All separated by miles of black sky. Fuel left. 112 minutes. Time, position, interception. All had to be perfect. Boom. 14. December 30th. second target acquired. Heading 180 degrees, altitude 6,000 ft, range 6 miles. Distance from first kill, 23 miles. P-61 cruising speed, 280 in Surnums, 5 minutes to intercept. Every minute allowed the bomber closer to the airfield. Every second mattered. Smith pushed the Black Widow to 320 mph, engine screaming, fuel bleeding fast. The target, another Betty. Lower altitude, 6,000 south cloud layer close. Less maneuvering room. Smith positioned below and behind. Range, 500 yards. Gun sight centered. Fire. 2-second burst, 48 rounds. The right engine caught fire. Left engine followed. Both wings engulfed. Bomber nosed over. Water impact. 0019. 2 bombers down. 10 remained. Fuel, 42% remaining. 2 targets left, closer to Muro. Altitudes, 9,000 ft and 4,000 ft distance apart. 8 miles. Smith chose the higher target first. Climbing consumed fuel more efficiently, but allowed the lower bomber to approach the airfield. Mistakes meant disaster. Renduro Point 23. Altitude, 9,000 ft or target. Nakajima Key 49. Helen bomber. Faster than the Betty. Better gunners. Maximum speed. 306 mph, 57.7. Defensive machine guns. Smith approached from below left. Bomber's blind spot. Range, 1 mile. The Helen maneuvered. Left, right, up, down. Porter anticipated movements, vectoring Smith perfectly. Range, 600 yards. Tail gunner opened fire. Tracers streaked past the canopy. Element of surprise gone. Smith fired. 3-second burst, 72 rounds. Right engine exploded. Bomber rolled inverted. Spinning toward the ocean. Impact. World 29. 3 bombers down, 9 remaining. Fuel, 28%. Critical. Most pilots returned at 30%. Below that, risk of forced landing or death over open ocean. Porter spotted the 4th target. Low altitude, 12 miles from Muro. American searchlights cut thin beams through clouds. AAA batteries ready. Smith descended to 4,200 ft, slightly above the bomber. Advantage. Altitude. Approach. Dive from above. Increase speed. Reduce reaction time. Range. 1 mile visual. 4th bomber. Betty. Straight. Level. Unaware. Smith positioned below and behind. 350 yards. Ammunition check. 512 rounds remaining. Fuel. 23%. 1 chance. Euro 3-4 hours. Firing. 2-second burst. 48 rounds. Port wing separated. Fuel tanks ignited. Bomber rolled and dove. Mastu Euro 35. 4 bombers destroyed in 55 minutes. Fuel, 21%. Remaining 8 Japanese bombers turned back. Mission accomplished. 0 American casualties. Smith turned the P-61 back toward Maguire Field. Fuel, 21%. Distance, 18 miles south. Remaining, Chartres 60 gallons. Enough to reach the airfield, barring error. Porter scanned the radar. No contacts. The sky was silent. The mission wasn't over. At EWA 042, a new blip appeared. Heading north. Range, 4 miles. Altitude, 7,000 Apulurf. Smith calculated. Fuel, 19%. Engage. Risk running out before reaching base. Ignore. Risk Japanese bomber reaching the airfield. Decision made. Intercept. Range closed rapidly. 3 miles, 2 miles, 1 mile. Visual, 800 yards. Not a bomber. Nakajima, Kai 84. Frank fighter. Single engine. Max speed, 392 mph. Armament, 4 12.7 mm guns. 2 20mm cannons. Better than P-61 in daylight. Faster, more maneuverable. Better climb, but night favored Smith. The Frank pilot had no radar. Blind. Smith approached from below and behind. Range, 500 yards. Target smaller. Armor around cockpit and engine. Short burst might not suffice. Fuel, 17%. 1 shot. No room for error. Smith centered the Frank in the gun sight. Uoro 45 hours. Fired. 3-second burst. 72 rounds. The Frank's engine exploded. Tail and fuselage ripped apart. Smoke and fire poured. Pilot ejected. Parachute opened. A white canopy against black sky. Fighter crashed into the ocean at 046. Fuel, 15%. Maguire Field, 11 miles south. Remaining flight time, 22 minutes. Porter guided using radar navigation. The island appeared on scope. Airfield, southwestern coast. Minimal lighting, no ILS. Kerosene lamps lined runway. Dimly. Altitude, $2,000 FT fuel. 13%, 84 gallons. Remaining flight time, 18 minutes. Runway lights extinguished at 0055. Complete darkness. Smith descended carefully using the radar altimeter. Accuracy, plus 50 FT. Fuel, 9%, 46 gallons. No alternative airfield close enough. Nearest, Takabat, 90 miles northeast. Too far. One option, land blind or crash. Smith chose survival and mission completion. Descending, 400 FAV, 250 Ohm. 100 FAV speed, 120 knots. Stall speed, 95 knots. Margin, 25 knots. Gear down at 0058. 3 green lights confirmed locked. Flaps full. Speed reduced to 110 knots. Descent rate, 400 f/min. Touchdown, 0059. Main wheels hit crushed coral. Jolt through airframe. Nose wheel followed 3 seconds later. Brakes applied. Taxi, 20 knots. Fuel remaining, 6%, 29 gallons, 3 minutes. Ground crew with flashlights guided the aircraft. Engines shut down, Aero 1.03, 63 minutes after takeoff. Smith climbed out, legs stiff, hands shaking, not from fear, but exhaustion. Porter exited. Teamwork had saved the mission, radar and pilot, perfect coordination. Inspection, P-61 undamaged, cannons operational, ammunition expended, 408 rounds, started, 800, remaining, 392. Intelligence officers arrived, Aero 115, details confirmed, 4 Mitsubishi G4M Bettys, 1 Kai 49, Helen, 1 Kai 84, Frank, time frame, 2357, deck 29, 0046, deck 30, engagement time, 49 minutes, records verified by radar and coast watchers. Mission success, 4 bombers, 1 fighter, 0 American casualties. But Smith flew again on deck 30, 1944, 14:30 hours. Japanese reconnaissance spotted over Muro, single-engine fighters, faster, harder targets. P-61 refueled and rearmed. Ammunition, 800 rounds. Fuel, 646 gallons. 15:12. Contact detected. Kai 84. Frank. Altitude, 12,000. FT range, 8 miles. Smith climbed, gained altitude advantage. Dove, 390 insornsum, faster than Frank's level speed. Firing, 2-second burst, 48 rounds. Frank's engine exploded. Fighter rolled inverted, crashed into ocean. Smith's 7th kill. He became the top-scoring American night fighter ace. 7 kills in less than 24 hours. No other night fighter pilot in any theater matched it. The 408th Night Fighter Squadron continued operations through January 1945. Total squadron kills, 18. Smith accounted for 39% of the score. Porter awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross. Skill made every intercept possible. P-61, times A. Waston survived the war, scrapped post-VJ Day. Only 4 P-61s exist today, none Smiths. McGuire Field supported the Lingayen Gulf invasion, January 9, 1945. Smith's actions ensured the airfields were operational. Delays avoided, invasion schedule intact. Smith survived the war, returned to the United States February 1946. Left the military, never sought publicity, no memoirs. Records exist only in archives, unit histories, and intelligence reports. P-61, Black Widow. Dominated night combat, 1944. 1945, redesignated F-61 post-war, retired 1954. In December 1944, over Muro, the most advanced night fighter, Carroll Smith, the best pilot flying it.